September 10th. Basically, morning shooting lights just about here. Coming in from the bottom. Mission today, locate elk. Find sign, without a camera. Maybe killable. My dad's coming in higher. He's gonna bugle from top. Been hiking for 40 minutes, and I'm still not topped out. Just heard our first bugle. That's good. We're gonna get up top to the saddle and let the games begin. Saddle. I believe the herd already came by me. There's clear cuts to the north, and I believe they're gonna bed on the other side of this ridge. So I'm gonna cross the saddle, go up and over, and probably let out a couple of cow calls. If that doesn't get them cranking, I'm gonna go locate her. Here we go. Alright, so basically, this is the elk herd I hunted last year. I know where they like to bed. I tried to get between them and their feeding and catch them in transition. I just didn't get up here in time. I did hear them bugle at 6 a.m. past me, and it's so shitty here that they only have really one trail that they use. I'm on the trail. I'm gonna get over here where I think they're bedded, and do a calling sequence. I'll record it for you guys and see if I can get this guy to torch off and just check his temperature. If he's not real hot, that means there's no hot cows. If he gets fired up on me, we'll go in and pressure him and try to kill him. Meanwhile, my dad's way up above. He came in from high with my nephew, Riley. So they're gonna check a couple of my cameras up there, and I haven't got them on the radio yet, but they're supposed to. Sorry, they're supposed to be throwing out some bugles here shortly. That's our ridge. All right, here we go. I just dropped a camera on a pretty good funnel. It's a trail they have to take towards bedding. Got fresh elk shit. Fresh tracks, fresh rub. The loggins just across the canyon. We'll see if we can get these bulls to talk. Should be at least 2 bulls in here. Some bulls really working this ridge. I gotta imagine I'm on a point right now. I'm gonna get on the edge and cow call. I've been here before on the herd. I'd like to get to a spot where I can actually see a little bit. That's a lot to ask for the North Idaho brush. He answered. He answered. He's not far. I just kept hammering cow calls and he finally answered. He's in the bowl. Wind's good. He's not aggressive. Cows aren't hot. We have to use some sexy talk to get him going. So these cows are bedded. They're probably spread out. Probably doesn't want nothing to do with the bugle, so I'm going to sneak in close and get excited and act like we're coming into heat. It's going to be good. Let's go do this. Just bugle twice on his own in the bottom, about 350, 400 yards away. He sounds good. So I immediately just took an angle up. I knew he was going to try to circle and get wind. And he come up right out to the opening. I could have shot him at 20. I was filming with my cell phone and this thing. So hopefully you could at least get a good look at him. He got up high enough and I knew he was going to get my wind. I just didn't want him to bark. And he got my wind and wheeled. And a cow called and raked a tree. And believe it or not, called him back up into like another 20-yard shot, but brushy. I wouldn't have shot that second time, but the first time he came in, that would have been a dead bull. But I can't get this herd bull to torch off. I might have to back out. He's not hot, but he's got a distinct, raspy, high note, so I'm gonna hammer him right now. And he didn't answer any of my calls over there. September 10th, I just made it to the creek bottom. It's just afternoon, like 12:15. Yeah, this is real life. This is not Vietnam. This is North Idaho. So I backed off on that bull. Pretty sure he's the same bull I was in on last year. Got a sliver at 10 yards. He busted me drawn. Bull was 350. Sounded like him, but I'm not 100% sure. And then his satellite, that's a different satellite bull than last year. His satellite last year was a really nice 5. That was kind of a small 5, but he wasn't very hot. I think he bugled a total of 3 times total. And I got in very close to him. I think he might have backdoored out. I didn't bump his cows. So I kind of backed out. The winds are picking up today. And I figure I'm gonna put these elk on ice. I kind of have them dialed. And the country's so nasty in there. It's all like blowdowns and a lot of north facing. And so everything's funneled pretty good. So you can really kind of set up on these elk when they're coming from feeding 2 or 3 miles away in a clear cut. They kind of hit the same one. And then there's usually another herd that wraps on the other side and they hit a brush field. Or they'll go all the way down into the clear cuts. And they'll come back and bed in the same general area, usually a little higher. So it's good. It's good. It's only September 10th. We're gonna put it on ice, maybe come back on the 12th. Give it a day off, get the scent out of there, and then I'm gonna go to one of my favorite spots. And it just sucks to get to, but we're gonna do that tomorrow. Right now I'm heading back to the camp to butcher elk. Well, as you can see, September 10th, what I did on this strategy is I kind of rolled the dice. Instead of coming in high, which I usually recommend so you can hear and locate elk, I kind of went off my gut and dropped to a bottom of a creek, crossed it, and went straight up in the dark. And I was trying to catch this particular herd I've hunted before. They go about 4 miles to feed, and then they hit this pretty funneled game trail to head towards their bedding area. And I just basically, I heard the bull bugle with his cows pushing by at like 5:45, so they were coming back in the dark basically, or just almost at first light. So by the time I topped or ridged out in the saddle, I could tell by the tracks and the smells that they had just cruised by. So I worked about a mile down the ridge, maybe a little bit more, and got kind of to where I figured they would bed. And I threw a trail camera out on that funneled trail, which, believe it or not, I still haven't been able to check that. That camera's on 4K video. Hopefully nobody steals that camera, and they shouldn't. It's pretty far away from anywhere accessible. And I got to a ridge that I could just tell a bull had been working real well, and I knew I was kind of in tight. And they weren't really talking too much, honestly. Like, I heard 0 bugles after that first one in the dark, so I kind of guessed that they were bedded in this pretty big niche bowl, if you will, just kind of like a little drainage bowl, and down pretty low. And I worked the cow calls, and I kind of did it over and over until finally the herd bull torched off down in the bottom, pretty normal, pretty par for the course.
not too far from me, and I was trying to get him cranking, and by doing that I got his satellite bull to answer one time, which you heard on video not too far away. He was below me, and then when I'm hunting solo and I made that contact and we communicated, me and that satellite, I instantly, my gut told me not to stand right where I was at, so I moved side hill around about 50 yards from my last call, and I could hear the bull through the brush about 50 yards away circling, and the wind was jamming up because of prevailing, and so I knew he was just going to circle up, so I kind of moved up, and then I got him on camera. The first time, it's tough to tell, but he's right in that 20-25 yard range. Definitely could have shot this 5x5, but first time he came in, he gets up, gets my wind, whirls, goes down, and then I cow called, stopped him. Then I started raking a little bit, which I don't think I got great footage of, and I think I might have bugled one more time, but then we ended up pulling him all the way back in till about 30. He was pretty horned up, and got good footage of him. He finally pieced out, and then I flipped 180 and went back after that herd bull, and he never played ball. That herd bull never wanted to play ball, and I believe him to be that 330 bull. He's actually gone downhill from last year. He's a really cool bull. He doesn't have G2s. He's crowned out up top. He's a 6x7-ish. He's got like a split on his where his force would be, and he's got great mass, and he's very narrow, very distinct bull. I've been hunting him for a couple of years. Almost killed him the year before at 10 yards. So he just doesn't play by rules, and he's really hard to kill. And I don't know if anyone ever will kill him. He's just a crazy, crazy bull. But that's what September 10th was all about. And after I didn't get him worked out, I backed out and went all the way down. I had more meat to cut, and it's tough cutting meat by yourself. My dad was hunting a few miles away from me up high, and that particular day he was in them strong. So you'll find out more about that tomorrow.